$22 billion. That's how much Japan spends on instant coffee annually, and the average Japanese citizen consumes 70 cups of coffee per year, making them the world's second largest consumer. In 1966, Nestle's instant coffee faced a deeply ingrained tradition, Japan's 1,200-year-old tea tradition. Yet today, 60% of Japanese households have instant coffee, with Nestle holding a dominant market share. So what changed? How did Nestle, with its instant coffee, crack a nation deeply rooted in tea for over a millennium? The answer might surprise you. It wasn't a blitz of marketing campaigns or a flavor change. Instead, it was a 50-year journey of cultural understanding and a surprisingly sweet strategy. Welcome to Curious Station, and stay tuned to find out the surprising key to Nestle's success in Japan. There are tea countries and there are coffee countries. Japan has a rich cultural heritage, and tea, especially green tea and matcha, has always played a significant role in Japanese society. For centuries, tea has been the primary beverage consumed in Japan, and it remains an essential part of the country's culture and social fabric. Japanese tea ceremonies, or chanoyu, are highly formalized events that can last for hours and involve intricate rituals and protocols. Given the deep-rooted association of tea with Japanese culture, in the 1960s, Nestle marched in with coffee, determined to change the collective Japanese mind. Nestle had a great product. Their target audience liked the taste of their coffee, and it was affordable, but it didn't translate into sales. Nestle tried everything to convince the Japanese to drink coffee. They advertised, they offered discounts, and they even gave away free samples, but nothing seemed to work. To identify the reason for this mismatch, the company got help from a French psychoanalyst, Clotaire Rappel, who specialized in studying the emotional bonds consumers form with the objects from their culture. Nestle hired Rappel to figure out why Japanese consumers weren't bonding with Nescafé the way that all the research said that they should. Rappel flew to Japan, and Dr. Rappel conducted various experiments with participant groups to better understand why people were not buying coffee in the Japanese market. In one such experiment, Dr. Rappel played calming music while participants lay on the ground. He asked them to talk through early childhood memories. He then asked participants to share experiences and emotions they associated with various products from their childhoods. Then, when he had these participants do that with coffee, he got no response. Most had no memories of coffee and therefore no emotional bond to it. Why? Because Japan had long been a tea-drinking society. Very few sections of society included coffee drinkers. Sales reflected the lack of cultural familiarity with coffee, as it was just not a part of Japanese life. This understanding from Dr. Rappel's research sparked a bold marketing move with a long-term strategy in mind. Rather than throw endless advertising dollars at converting the Japanese public to coffee, they pivoted and took a more long-term strategy. Nestle created coffee-flavored candies and marketed them to the Japanese children. Dr. Rappel's guidance, they needed to get children to love Nestle's flavor from an early age. Not only would this condition them to the taste, but it would also imprint the flavor. They would associate coffee with positive emotions. This imprinting strategy was also a good idea because Nestle happened to be very, very good at making candy. The Swiss company had proven itself dominant in markets all over the world. Nestle tested, manufactured, and stocked shelves with their coffee-flavored candies. They were immediately popular with youth and eventually with their curious parents who wanted to give the flavor a try. A decade later, Nestle stormed Japan with a wave of coffee, and this time the reaction was different. The kids who grew up with coffee-flavored candies were now a part of the workforce and ready to become coffee drinkers. Nestle released instant baristas that were easy for home and workspaces. Nestle was no longer marketing roadkill. Their instant coffee was a monster that quickly took hold of the market. Today, Nestle has the largest market as Japan imports about $22 billion, or about 500 million tons of instant coffee every year, more than any other country in the world. So there you have it. That's the story of how Nestle won over Japan, which began with a failed attempt at entering the coffee market and resulted in a long-term strategy that proved that strong emotional bonds with customers can build strong sales. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories like this one. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.